All right, 1 2 1 2. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? I want to thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm a little off schedule, but I am raring to go. I think we got a good show planned for you tonight, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on what's happening in the world of sports. It's pretty incredible stuff, that's for sure. Wow. That Pittsburgh Baltimore game, legendary, crazy game. I'm a big Mike Tomlin guy. You guys know that, and one of the things that's really interesting to me is when I look at like a lot of the broadcasters. If you look at the percentages of when teams bet against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 years. It's much higher than the people who ride with Pittsburgh. If you bet on Pittsburgh just to make the playoffs every year, you make a hell of a lot of money. But yeah, that doesn't stop people from doubting the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. And I'm going to say this. This is not like some fanboy type situation. When I think of Mike Tomlin, excuse me, and I go back to my days playing basketball and playing football. As a player, you really do rally around your coach. It doesn't matter what your gender is. I'm sure if you're a woman, listen to the program, and you played sports before, and you've had a coach that you really admire and you want to win for. It's metaphysical in a lot of ways. I can't explain it, but I know that it makes a difference. The cameras flashed Mike Tomlin after the kicker missed an inexplicable kick. And really no expression. It's like, yo, we got one more play. Aaron Rodgers has the same mentality. You know how many times he's looked adversity in the face and said, I got this, and actually comes up big? I don't think fans quite understand that. And that's really important because a lot of people listen to this program are 49er fans. And the 49ers have to go play Philly, a team that you would expect to win at home. But the gloom and doom mentality is not something that I embody. I think the 49ers have a 50-50 chance of winning this game. Why? Because there's not a blueprint for success. We love sports because it's so unpredictable. And that's what we saw tonight. So if you got any comments about that and you want to talk, I keep going back to literally like 60,000 people in Pittsburgh saying fire Mike Tomlin. Is that your right as a fan? Do you guys believe that? I say fire somebody when they're not doing their job. When they don't appear to be giving you everything that they have. Fire that person. But somebody who's doing their job, has given you everything that they have, I don't want to be that person to yell fire somebody. I don't believe in that anyway. I don't get that part of fandom. I really don't. Let the owner fire him or fire whomever because of whatever particular reason. But if you're a diehard fan, I don't get it. San Francisco 49ers last night lost to the Seattle Seahawks, and it felt like air going out of a really, really big balloon that I think that a lot of folks had blown up over the past couple of weeks, and for good reason. The 49ers have been playing really good football. Last night, I just think that they were high off of adrenaline. They couldn't make basic plays. They missed 18 tackles. And yet they only lost by 10 points, and they were within a field goal. Had Christian McCaffrey made what I thought was a pretty basic catch. The ball got tipped, but Christian McCaffrey, the future Hall of Famer, you would expect him to make that catch. And it was good to hear him own it, because he's one of my favorite players. He's somebody who I really do respect. Going back, if you watch Christian McCaffrey's workout tapes when he was in high school, he different. He just a bad play at the most inopportune time. That's all it was. So, no, it's not going to be easy. The 49ers don't play at home. But there's no reason why they can't go to Philly and win. And I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I think Jalen Hurts gets a lot of the negativity that Brock Purdy gets, to be quite honest. And if he has a good game, I don't think the 49ers will win. But there's a chance that he won't. We don't know. So if you want to talk about that, feel free. Last night in the postgame show, we were kind of kicking it around. What is success for the 49ers? Is it making the playoffs? I don't know about that, to be quite honest with you. Is it a failure if they don't win an opening round game? No, it's not a failure. But I don't think it is a resounding success story either. You know, they need to move forward. There's no reason why you can't have high standards. But it's not a failure if they don't win against Philly. I don't think so, personally. So we're going to talk 49ers or NFL playoffs. It's really cool. I have no problem with that. It was great today to see a couple of things. First of all, those of us who like Dan Campbell was on display today. The reasons why we like him was on display today. His starters played the whole game. They were playing for nothing but pride and commitment to being great. And they went out there and beat Chicago. Tip of the hat to those cats. I'm going to dedicate this show to Josh Johnson of the Washington Commanders. 39-year-old Josh Johnson. Now, people might mention his age and say, well, he's 39, Red. I've known him a long time, way before he was 39. So this is a guy who's a workout demon. Certainly one of the smartest players in the NFL. You know, a really quick story. I actually coached youth basketball for one of his really good friends. And we've maintained a pretty decent relationship. I'm really close to this young man. And he said, Coach, when I went to Josh's house, and this is when Josh was just starting his career, he said guys were kind of hanging out and doing various things. Josh Johnson was in the playbook. Literally 3-4 in the morning. This dude was in the playbook. His career had not even started yet. So he's a football savant. Doesn't mean that he's overly talented compared to some of the great players in the league, but from a mental perspective, from the neck up, he's prepared. It wouldn't surprise me if Josh Johnson at some point, if he wants to stay in football, maybe he doesn't, but if he does, he's going to be a head coach somewhere. At the major college level, NFL, he's just a football savant, and it was good to see him finish the year strong as well. I don't know if he's going to play anymore. Maybe he will. I got to think a lot of people are inspired by Aaron Rodgers and Phillip Rivers now, thinking, you know what? I can get a check. I can still have fun. I can still play this game. So I'm geeked up on football. You guys can tell that, but there's so much more that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL playoffs in general. The Golden State Warriors are going to get a lot of run for a lot of different reasons. And I got a take on that. And it's really about Jimmy Butler. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I think what Jimmy Butler is doing right now, to me, is maybe as special a thing that he's ever done in his career. Beyond the Hall of Fame numbers he's put up and 2 NBA finals and all of that good stuff. That's fantastic. But I think what he's doing right now as a brother and a teammate to Jonathan Kuminga is extraordinary. And every young player should have a vet like that. All right. And we'll talk about it a little bit more. But just to give you a landscape of some of the topics that I want to talk about, there you go. Feel free to jump in the chat and mention some things that maybe I have not introduced to the audience. Start the show off. We're going to do it like we normally do. We're going to go out and talk to the great Vicky. She says, wow, she's propping us up already. She says, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already, we have Frank. We have to get Frank to 1,000 soon. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Vicky. That's kind of cool. Here's a football take. She says, if the 49ers score, they can win. No TDs, no win. I think you're right. I mean, Dante Smith and A.J. Brown scared the daylights out of me. How can the 49ers cover those two guys? I mean, Saquon Barkley is awesome. And if he's on, he's on. But A.J. Brown and Dante Smith, my God, those guys are dangerous. Okay, this is Joseph Hernberg. How you doing? Welcome to the program. Thank you for checking in. Niners are one and done. I would love a little bit more explanation than that. You might be right, but tell me why. I just kind of alluded to some things with regards to Philly, but give me your explanation. Watching the Niners play makes me physically sick. You're funny. Hi, Frank. The Philadelphia can be beat, but I don't think the 49ers can get the job done. We will see. On to the Warriors. It's beginning to look like Draymond is trying to play his way off the team. Well, you know, it's interesting. You wouldn't expect Draymond to get so riled up at this point for calls that officials might miss. I mean, it's kind of old. It's not necessary. It's a bit embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. This is not the 90s. You don't see other players on other teams going off like that. And Draymond's actually probably been better this year compared to previous years. But, I mean, at this stage, after 15 years, I don't like to see it because I like watching them play basketball. I really do. I mean, he's one of those guys, because he's such a smart basketball player, even if his skills, his physical skills start to diminish, he can still play because he's such an instinctive player. You should not be getting kicked out of the game because the official didn't make a 3-second call. I don't like that. RC Rules. Happy New Year. All. Yes, sir. J.R. Barragon. Happy New Year, Frank. How is everything going so far? You know, JR, it might sound corny, but every day I wake up, I win. I win, dude. I win every day. So my life is really, really good. I'm looking forward to 2026. I got a lot of big things planned. But I was thinking yesterday, actually, when I was driving in my car, I was going to fulfill a commitment that I had made to someone. And I was thinking to myself, because I'm always thinking about the show, and I think about the listeners. And I said to myself, I actually know the people that listen to my show. I've never been the type of person to look at numbers and say, well, I have to get to X amount of numbers. Yeah, I'd like to get to 1,000 because I can do more with the channel. But the fact that X number of people show up every week and we slowly but surely are building an audience that we can relate to, I really appreciate that. I also like the fact that somebody mentioned last week, I probably know who it was, but I won't say it. But it talked about how polite and nice we are to each other. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's true. I dig that too. So thank you. Happy New Year to you. Aaron Law says defense was optional in that Pitt game. How about brain farts? I mean, they played the run extremely well. And I think that there was some cohesiveness, but I think when they watch the tape, they're going to be looking at one or two individuals that just blew a gasket. How can you be that wide open twice? I think Pittsburgh deserved the win, but then again, I thought Baltimore played a really good game. I'm just happy to see with my own eyes so I could draw my own conclusions about Lamar Jackson. He didn't look like anything was wrong with him to me. He looked like he was that guy. So Baltimore wants to move away from him. I'm sure there's probably 25, 26, 27, 28 other NFL teams that will gladly open the door and say, Lamar, come play for us. I don't understand it. He was on fire tonight. He made all the big plays that he needed to make to put Baltimore in a position to win. And unfortunately, Pittsburgh's kicker came up short, and then Baltimore's kicker came up short. Hopefully, the Baltimore kid, he's a rookie. Hopefully, he'll have an opportunity to redeem himself. If not in Baltimore, somewhere. Otherwise, that's Scott Norwood-esque. Wide right. That can ruin you. It really can. That can ruin you because he clearly, I don't like to use the word choked, but he choked. He did. That's a routine. He had made 29 out of 32 field goals. That was bad. TJ, what's up? He says, Big Frank, Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year to you. And I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. Mendez. How you doing, Mendez? Since Kyle became head coach, we either made it to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. He's a good coach. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Now, with that said, last night against Seattle was not one of his finer moments. It just wasn't. Kyle Shanahan last night was calling the game like this was last year. Like he had little to no confidence in his team. I grew up watching the New York Giants coached by Bill Parcells, right? 4th and 1, you're going to get a push off you're going to fire off the ball and get into the chest of a defensive lineman. Push him back. The 49ers ran a wide right play to get 1 yard. Are you serious? You don't have a big, fat, burly, strong offensive lineman you can't find standing on the sideline that can't move an offensive lineman on the opposing team 6 inches or an inch, a yard, excuse me. That was terrible. One of the reasons why I'm a fan of Mike Tomlin established early in the game, we're trying to win. Now, I didn't like the call, but when the reporter talked to Mike Tomlin at halftime before he went into the locker room, She asked Mike Tomlin about that call. He goes, "It's simple. We trying to win. We're going to go for it. I want Kyle Shanahan to be more aggressive because he clearly has some cards to play on the offensive end. His defense is suspect and littered with scotch tape trying to fill up holes. And with that said, a lot of those cats are playing beyond their maximum ability. So I give them credit. I don't call them terrible. I don't. I mean, yeah, Seattle missed 2 field goals, but teams miss field goals. At the end of the day, the defense gave up 13 points. 13 points. And if it was not for 2 crucial plays, for 3, the 3rd and 17, in which the running back got 19 yards, was a complete joke. I think I said last night, if you take a top 10 defensive team from Division I football and just throw those guys out there and say, you know what? It's 3rd and 17. Don't let them get a first down. They're going to stop them 7 or 8 times out of 10. He got 19 yards on the 49ers. That was god-awful. Their ability not to recover the fumble after Sam Darnold made one of the few mistakes that he made all night, that was big. And certainly the McCaffrey drop hurt the 49ers. So I like their chances. I give them a 50-50 chance against the Eagles. Aussie Rule says, Frank, how did the Niners defense play? Some say very good, allowing only 13 points, but gave up about 200 yards rushing. If I was going to describe the 49ers defense, I would say that they played better than the stats would suggest. They had some moments, but they had too many lowlights. That's what I'm going to say. Because sometimes the score doesn't really tell you what's really happening. Seattle missed 2 field goals. Suppose those field goal attempts would have been touchdowns. They could have easily blew the 49ers out last night. And like you said, they averaged over 5 yards a carry last night and rushed for over 200 yards. You're not going to beat many teams if that was the case. Pittsburgh Steelers defense early in the season was horrible. Their run defense over the past 4 to 5 to 6 weeks has been outstanding. And they did a good job on King Henry tonight. So you got to stop the run. To me, it's more fundamentals and it's kind of want to than anything else. It's not because they're not superstar players. Play your keys. What's up, Keys? How you doing? What's up, Frank? Niners having a great year. They're not going to win too many playoff games, if any, because of the injuries. But our record speaks for itself. We overachieved. And I'm happy with our team. I hear you. I think that it's okay to be greedy in sports. And throughout the season, the expectations change. When you see some things that you were not expecting to see, it's okay to modify the expectations. I thought the 49ers would be in the playoffs, but I thought they would be 11-6. They're a little better. What were they, 12-5? So it's okay to have higher expectations for them. They overachieved. Yeah, they did. And if they don't win a playoff game, to me, again, the season is not a disappointment. I hear people saying the season's bad if they don't win a playoff game. I don't believe that. I don't want to see them have a poor showing. I want to see them be competitive. I want to see them be ready to play Philly and then leave it on the football field. Watching the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game tonight, if I'm Baltimore, I'm disappointed, but I'm not walking around with my head between my legs. I'm not. It came down to a kick that literally 51 guys, well, 50 guys have no impact on the play. You have the center, you have the holder, and you have the kicker. That's it. So I appreciate how the 49ers have played this year. Got an opportunity to see their schedule for next year. It's not the toughest schedule. They should be in the playoffs again next year. But the roster could look a lot different next year. Matt Jones could be gone. Suppose the backup quarterback for Brock Purdy, if he gets hurt, isn't as good. So you got to have a steady backup. They need a star wide receiver. They don't have one. They have guys who I like, who are dependable, but they don't have a star wide receiver. I'm not going to bang on Ricky Pearsall because I will never comment on whether somebody is hurt or they're injured. I can't do that. I don't think that's appropriate to do it. But I will say that, dude gets hurt a lot. Gets hurt a lot in football should not be in the same sentence. Can't. Particularly when you're like 22, 23, and theoretically you got hemoglobin firing through your body. You should be healing up a lot faster than somebody who is of a different age. So I'm more disappointed in Ricky. Particularly coming off last week, he had 80 plus yards, and he's not playing this week? He must be really injured. Because most football players that I know, most athletes would be like, coach, doctor, I'm playing. Like Lamar Jackson. Midweek, there was some question about whether or not Lamar Jackson was going to play. He shut that down. He's like, I'm playing. So I have to assume that Ricky Pearsall is going to play in Philly. Maybe that will help the 49ers because they won't have any recent tape on him. And he might be a sneaky weapon against Philly. I don't know. But I think him not playing last night was not a good look. It really wasn't. Hopefully he'll be ready. SGA, how you doing? Thank you for checking in the show. This is funny to me. He says, Frank is a great guy. Really? I mean, I am, but how do you know that? Keys, the Eagles totally threw that game today so they can play the Niners. It was obvious on the game winning. To all the dumb penalties, NFL should investigate. Fix was in. You think? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think if you are the Eagles, you like the matchup against the 49ers. You do like that matchup. You're playing on your home field, which would have been the case if they were the 2 or the 3 seed. So now they're the 3. I think you're probably right. I think they do like the matchup. Now, their backup quarterback is not good. They can't like that. They can't like that. He was all over the place. So, for those in the crowd who want to get rid of Jalen Hurts, you don't like him, this is the guy you want? Really? In the playoffs, you got to win games. Like, I give Pittsburgh a really good chance to beat Houston, in spite of Houston's incredible defense. I give the Steelers a good chance to beat Houston because it's going to be a low-scoring game, or we assume that. And Pittsburgh, like Houston, is opportunistic. However, when they played Houston earlier this year, it was ugly. But I think Aaron Rodgers right now is playing his best football. I love how he's playing right now. He's managing the line of scrimmage like a conductor. Isn't it beautiful to watch? That's why he came back. Vicky says, I love Draymond. He can bring the ball up the court, pass, and score sometimes. His defense is better than anyone, but I think he wants out. Sometimes you get what you ask for, Vicky. Now, if you say that he wants out, what do you think he wants to go? Because he don't want to go everywhere. And as talented as he is, his skill set doesn't fit for every organization. It just doesn't. There's probably about 4 or 5 teams that he could legitimately go to and prosper. The Lakers are definitely one of them. Probably, Phoenix, because he has a relationship with the owner. So I don't think he would mind going to Phoenix at all. But there's a lot of teams that he could be stuck on that he wouldn't like that very much. In spite of all of the adversity, the 49ers, the Golden State Warriors are one of the best teams in the NBA to play for. They really are. Organizationally, they're tight. They really are. Vicky says the 49ers need to draft an offensive lineman. Just draft O-line. Men, the whole way. Yes, they need a wide receiver, but O-line is more of a need. I'm not saying you're wrong, but historically, the 49ers have not drafted a lot of offensive linemen in the first round. They just haven't done it. And I think the reason why is because they've been able to find guys in, second, third, sometimes even later than that have ultimately developed into some Pro Bowl caliber players. So I think they feel that they can win with superior coaching. They certainly need to improve the offensive line. Trent Williams has had a bounce back year. Last year was a tough year for him. This year, he's playing like a Pro Bowler, but how many years is he going to play? Next year, maybe 2 more years. You need to consistently address the offensive line. I totally agree with you. Key says, Josh Johnson won a game today. Good for him. Long time, dependable vet. I don't like how Kruger always shits on him for the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. Let it go. We lost it. It wasn't Josh Johnson's fault. Yeah, it's interesting because I've been on some of those shows, and Larry and I are good friends, and I think quietly he probably has a different perspective about that situation. But he's a big time 49er fan, and I think he was living in the moment at that particular time. Josh was put in a tough situation. He came to the 49ers late in the year, and he didn't play well. But, like I said before, Josh Johnson is a football savant. And at 39, he should not be making NFL teams as number 2 quarterback. He was a number 2 quarterback last year in Baltimore over Henley. So this dude is a pro. I think he does deserve more respect. And he can win. You watched him play today. He ran the offense like QB1. He really did. So, Larry is good at what he does because he's willing to sometimes express how he feels. And it's great that he inspired you to have a different opinion, to voice your opinion. That's what Sports Talk is all about. I love that. Thank you for your comments. Aaron, should the Niners look to move off of rookie Pearsall this offseason? That's another point. There are people out there who think that they should trade the guy. I think it's too early for that. I think he needs to be coached up. I don't know how he's being coached. Sometimes you can coach players really, really hard and they respond. Sometimes you can be kind of soft on players and they don't quite get it. He's a talented guy. Let's not forget that. He's a talented guy. I'm questioning whether or not he loves football. I'm questioning whether or not this guy loves football. When I look at Ricky Pearsall and I watch Juwan Jennings play football, I draw two different conclusions. I would never doubt whether or not Juwan Jennings loves football. It doesn't matter. You kick that guy in the ribs, bangs his head, he might go off for a play, but he's back out there. Those are people who love football. Hayward on the Steelers. Cameron Hayward, he loves football. I don't know if Ricky loves football. I think he likes the social aspects of football. I think he loves that. I think he loves the millions and all the treats that being a professional athlete, NFL player brings, but does he love football? I don't know. I would not trade him in the offseason. I would give him one more year, particularly because they don't have Brandon Ayuk. That was a complete fiasco. There's no guarantee that they're going to have Juwan Jennings. So what do you have as a receiving corps? You as a fan and all the fans expect the 49ers to be in the playoffs again, and rightfully so. At Car Complete. What's up? The Ravens barely converted that fourth down. If it was on an actual safety besides Ramsey back there, likely isn't making that catch, in my opinion. I get it. And man, Ramsey's had a tough year. Jalen Ramsey has had a tough year. That felt like it was a brain fart. Now, we don't know whose responsibility it was. But one thing I do know, as a defensive player, you should never have anybody run past your body. Generally, that's your man. That's who you have. So I think a mental mistake was made there, and it could have been Jalen Ramsey's fault. I don't know. But he's had a tough year. That play should have never happened. Never. So I tend to agree with you there. That was crazy. Key says the NFC West was the best division this year. And with all the young talent, it will be moving forward. Niners better not blow the draft and free agency anymore. We are not the most talented anymore. And we're old. Great point. The 49ers need more stars. They need more stars. We were this year surprised when some of their deep bench practice squad guys got on the field and actually played decent football. That can't be your barometer for success. I hope this third string, fourth string, practice string guy is able to come in and not blow the dam. That's not what you want. You want guys like on the Houston Texans. You want guys like that. What's the edge rusher from Alabama? That guy's a beast. They got superstars. If I ask you, who are the superstars on the 49ers? Offensively, Christian McCaffrey is a superstar. And I'm going to say that's it. I'm going to say they got one superstar on offense. Now, do they have good players? Yes, they do. Brock Purdy is a good player. Top 10 quarterback in the NFL. George Kittle, I love George Kittle. Love him. I love his toughness. George Kittle, to me, is the best tight end the 49ers have ever had. But because he's 31, 32, been playing damn near a decade, he gets hurt. Why does he get hurt? Because he puts it on the line. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's probably like 235 pounds. And he'll run into a wall. you know? So they need stars. They certainly do. I agree with you. Vicky says, I love Ricky too. But it's shoot me up, coach. I'm ready to play. Vicky, you are amazing. I love it. You see Vicky? Vicky's like, shoot me up, coach. Put me on the field. I laugh about it because I'm delusional. That's what I would do. I'm not missing any games. If I get, now if you get a concussion, they'll take you out. They'll take your helmet, and that's the protocol that should be in place. There should be a higher power to look after the players. But if it's one of those situations where I can go, I'm just in a lot of pain, I'm playing. That's my mentality. The circumstances around Ricky Pearsall, we really don't know. We don't know what the doctors have said, what his injuries actually are. What we do know is it's a bad look. It's a bad look. Aaron Law says Pittsburgh will also have DK back as well. Yeah, I mean, let me ask you a question. I respect CJ Stroud. He's talented. But if I'm in a playoff game, who are you going to go with? In a close competitive game where you got to win one and you're playing in Pittsburgh at home. Based on what I've seen from Aaron Rodgers, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers knows that offense better than any offensive coordinator. And he has dependable guys now. And he's going to have DK back. I want to give the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot of credit also. When DK Metcalf did something that was not very smart, and there was a conversation around how his guaranteed money could be voided by the Pittsburgh Steelers if they wanted to do that. And Pittsburgh's not going to do that, which I think is the right thing to do. You don't compound somebody who's done something really stupid to make your books look better when you've invited this guy to come into your organization. So that's another reason why I really respect Pittsburgh. With that said, DK got to show up. He got to redeem himself. He really does. Badger, how you doing? It says, do the Knicks need to make a trade before the deadline? Badger, you must know that I'm a Knicks fan, right? Right? I start smiling when you talk about the Knicks. I'm going to say this. If the Knicks could trade for Giannis, that's the trade. I don't see another trade out there. What I do see is Mike Brown not being concerned with feelings and relationships. This is a guy that's been fired like 3 times. Be Mike Brown. He said it a couple of days ago in a press conference. He goes, the problem with our team is our defense. Their defense sucks. I mean, I love Jalen Brunson. He's awesome. I love the team. But defensively, I want to see them play more like Detroit. That doesn't take any more talent. That takes commitment and it takes effort. Tell me another team that has 2 functional 7-footers. Well, that's some. But the Knicks are one of the few teams in the league that have legitimately 2 7-foot-plus guys that actually contribute. So I don't think they need a move. I don't. Giannis is the only move that would certainly make them better. I would love to see them go out and get Dante DiVincenzo back. I don't think he's coming back, but I would love to see that. So no, I think the Knicks, as constituted, should be one of the teams that competes for the Eastern Conference title. Milwaukee, Detroit, New York, Nets for Draymond. I think he would help the Brooklyn Nets, but I don't know if Jordy Fernandez could coach Draymond. I don't know about that. He would definitely help them. They need a veteran. Draymond, I think, would be good in Milwaukee. I think you're right. I think he would be good in Milwaukee. And I think that he would be good in Detroit, but his leadership style may be embraced or may not be embraced. But those are three good names, Vicky. Seahawk Daddy says, go Seahawks. Well, I'm going to ask you a question, Seahawk. Do you think that Sam Darnold's, I'm going to say stellar play, is going to continue in the playoffs? And if so, why do you feel that way? Because you're not doing anything unless he continues to play well. As ferocious and as good as that defense is, the Seahawks are going to go as far as Sam Darnold takes them. This weekend of football was the absolute best. I loved it. I did. I second that. What a great name. Anthony Merkovic. How you doing? What's up, Frank? What's up with you, brother? Hopefully you're subscribing to the show, hitting the like button. Help me market. I don't do a great job at that. Mendez, what do you think is going to leave the 49ers? Okay, who do you think is going to leave the 49ers in the offseason? Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is going to get some money, and he's going to go. With that said, I think that there are some quality backup opportunities for some starters who are going to lose their jobs, who are going to want to kind of reset their careers. The 49ers has to be the number one location in the NFL for doing that. So I think they'll be able to find a solid backup, but I think Mac Jones is probably going to leave. Jawan Jennings, it would be logical to think that he would leave for more money, but I think Shanahan really likes him. And because Shanahan likes him, and because he's had a terrific year, when you look at the number of touchdowns, I think he's going to come back. So there'll be more players than I'm naming. Mustafa, I'm not quite sure what year he is. He probably has another year on his contract. But Jair Brown, who I think this is his fourth year, he'll probably be a free agent. I think there's some teams out there that would pay Jair Brown more money than the 49ers probably want to pay him because he's a ball hawk. And in spite of not having a great game last night, he tackles pretty well. So Jair Brown, Jawan Jennings, Mac Brown, maybe there's an offensive lineman who might go get some money somewhere else. Vicky's diving deep down into the archives. I love this. Ronnie Lott cut off his finger to play. He loved football. I'm telling you what's funny too, Vicky. Ronnie Lott was one of my childhood idols, right? And when I first got into broadcasting, the NBA had a strike one year. So I covered a lot more hockey than I would in a normal year. And I would cover the Sharks. And I did not know it, but I actually like to go to hockey games. It's so much fun. It's not like watching on television. You go to a hockey game, it's exciting. The crowd is into it. And the San Jose Sharks treat the media really, really well. I'll leave it at that. But I'm going up through like the media elevator, the service elevator, and I open my eyes, the door opens, and who steps in the elevator? Ronnie Lott with his family. And I just, it was a quick conversation. I told him that, he's one of my favorite players. And he was just like I assumed that he would be watching him on television. He's like that in person. He's a great guy. But I got a chance to see that little finger that he cut off. He really cut his finger off. He did. It's a true story. It's not Hollywood. It's real. Lone Wolf. What does this mean? I probably should know it. But elaborate a little bit more, please. Brock Purdy could be a superstar. We're going to find out, Vicky. If Brock Purdy goes to Philly and he leads the 49ers to a victory, the conversation around him is going to change. I'm going to say that. It's going to change. But he has to be one of those guys. He can't be just another guy. He needs to literally put this team on his back and go get a win. Draymond to the Knicks. I like that. And I just remembered, it's not like he doesn't know Mike Brown. He knows Mike Brown. He's played well for Mike Brown. I'm going to say the Knicks are the best place for Draymond Green. He definitely makes the Knicks better. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But to get a Draymond Green, I think you got to give the Warriors a pretty good player in return. Yeah. Probably Mikal Bridges. He just got a $150 million contract. He's a good player. I don't think the Knicks are ready to eat all of that in 150. I think they would love for somebody else to eat some of that contract. And that's a great conversation. Draymond to the Knicks, and who do the Warriors get in return? Mikal Bridges will be a good return. Draymond wants to end his career in Detroit. You think so? I don't know that. Brandon is going to leave the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, he's already gone. He's already gone. They cut his guaranteed money. So there's no reason for him to show up. They're going to trade him probably to the Washington Commanders or maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next weekend is going to be off the hook. The first week of the NFL playoffs is usually must-see TV. I agree with you. Cat for Draymond. The Warriors would do it. The Knicks wouldn't do it. Somebody's getting fired. Yeah, Rob, see, I get it. Mac Jones is under contract for next year for like $2 million. I don't think it's $2 million, but if Mac Jones went to the 49ers and said, listen, I got a chance to start for this team, they're not going to hold him up. What they will do is trade him to the team that wants him for a draft pick. So, yeah, you're right. He's under contract, but that contract would probably be ripped up by his new team, and the 49ers would get compensation. That's kind of how that whole thing works. But you're right. He is under contract for another year. Yeah. So right now, that's everybody. Okay, I want to give you my take on. Let me get Aaron in. Hopefully, Shanahan leaves the conservative playbook at home Sunday. I totally agree with you. It's almost like he brought out his evil twin last night. I didn't like it. I thought he was way too conservative. Let it hang out, man. Let it all hang out. Go for it. So I agree with you. All right. I got a Jimmy Butler take. I've never been I'm not a fan of many players, to be quite honest with you. I respect players. I like them, but I'm not really like a fan. I'm a fan of like Joe Montana, you know. But a lot of in NBA, Dr. J, people like that, Magic Johnson. But the closest player that I'm a fan of in today's NBA is Stephen Curry. I'm a fan of Stephen Curry's. Not only as watching him play basketball, but probably even more for what he does as a humanitarian. You know, this is somebody who makes a whole lot of money, and he actually does some really good things with the money that he has to help other people. I love that. I love it. So I'm a fan of Stephen Curry. I've always respected Jimmy Butler, but I wasn't really a fan of Jimmy Butler, right? Getting an opportunity to watch him up close as a Warrior player, I see more of his games now. I have even more respect for him as a player. I become a fan of Jimmy Butler. Now I am a fan. I'm gonna tell you why. He has really forged a great relationship with Jonathan Kuminga that is beyond basketball, right? And this is probably the most adversity that Kuminga has dealt with as an athlete. I don't know anything about his life, so I'm not going to speak about that. But the situation that he's dealing with right now can and has broken a lot of players, has ruined a lot of players, because management, and that includes the coaches and general manager and the organization, they have the media on their side. All you got to do is turn on any sports talk channel in the Bay Area, you know, which I generally don't listen to. I might find it every now and then and listen to Guru and Steining. I know both of those cats. Those are my guys. But for the most part, the local radio station sides with the establishment, Warriors. So there's no way a guy like Jonathan Kuminga can ever truly give his perspective on what's going on. He's going to be traded, which I have no problem with. He's been there for 5 years. It hasn't worked. I still think that there can be some light at the end of the tunnel. But the Warriors are not happy. This scenario where he started the year strong to now he can barely get off the bench. He's not getting off the bench. That's not what we had hoped this outcome would be. Internally, his teammates are human. So you're going to have some guys who actually side with Kuminga in terms of how he's being treated. But they can't say anything. It's the business. They can't say anything, right? Now, what Jimmy Butler has done is said, listen, dude, I'm not going to allow you to fail. I'm not going to allow you, I'm sure his teammates, his other teammates as well, but specifically Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is spending time with him over his house, playing cards, doing various things, and he's giving him the game that he needs. Because what happens generally when a player is about to be traded or there's any type of adversity is they start to lose money. We're talking about a guy who's making $20+ million a year. Jimmy Butler's like, listen, I'm not going to allow you to lose any money because of bad behavior. You're not showing up. None of that. I want you to be the best professional that you can be. Get through this. Get through this. And then in your next home, your next opportunity, you need to be the best practice player, the most coachable player on the team, and go out there and show the world your best self. Everybody should have a vet like that. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't. And it ruins careers. So the fact that he would take that type of effort, that type of time with somebody who didn't grow up in the United States, did not go to college, I really appreciate that, because I've dealt with politics in sports before. It's not what the fans think. It's not easy. The word fair does not exist. It's actually hard. And there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger game that you have to master. And Jimmy Butler's trying to help him get there. I really appreciate that. So that's why I'm a fan of his right now. Vicky says, I love what Jimmy had to say about JK. Me too. That was spot on. Do you think Steve Kerr will be the Warriors coach next year? Yeah, I do. I think he will be the coach next year, because I think that Stephen Curry will fight for him. I do. And Stephen Curry is the cash cow. He's the guy who makes it all work. And Stephen is on a year-to-year contract. So it isn't like the Warriors have him locked up. And he can play for another 2 years. Can you imagine if Stephen Curry is not showing up for 41 games every year with this fan base in San Francisco? This is not the Oakland fan base. This is not the East Bay fan base. So the only way that Steve Kerr is not coaching the Warriors next year is if he just says, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I think he's going to ride it out with Steph. I think the Wiseman, Kuminga, Jordan Poole era is going to be viewed as a major disappointment with this organization. In spite of winning a championship, it's a colossal failure. Now, if the Warriors can pull a heist job in 2 weeks and get a player for Kuminga that we never thought that they could get, then, my perspective might turn around. But I'm thinking, this is me using my critical thinking skills. I'm thinking CJ McCollum, Marvin Bagley III. That's what I think. CJ McCollum, Marvin Bagley III. Kuminga goes to Washington, and that's what you get in return. Maybe you get a pick. I can't see any organization giving up a really talented young player or a potential lottery pick for Kuminga when we're not seeing him as his best self. People are talking about Trey Murphy III from New Orleans. It sounds good. The only way that New Orleans would trade Trey Murphy for Jonathan Kuminga is if they're just a cheap organization and they're hemorrhaging money and they want to get Trey Murphy's contract off their books, which is logical. He signed a pretty nice deal, and Kuminga only has another year on his deal at a team option. So if they want to just clean their books, Kuminga might be a candidate for New Orleans, and I can't see him having a sustaining career down there. But if it's about basketball, you wouldn't do that. If it's about basketball. CJ McCollum. Marvin Bagley III. Vicky says, JK is not even on the bench. He kind of shows up at halftime or in the third quarter. I kind of think he's probably working out, Vicky. I think he's probably working out in the weight room and stuff like that, or I don't know, getting treatment or something. Because he generally does come out like in the third quarter, but he has like sweats. You know, I see him clapping, but he doesn't appear to be into it that much. Rob C49. I see Steve Kerr after these games, and he looks worn out and tired. Yeah, man. It's been a long time. And he's taken a lot. He's a human being. So, people lionize coaches and they assume that coaches are always right. They're not always right. And they can be emotional, or they can have their pet peeves like everybody else. And sometimes it doesn't work. I'm going to tell you what I think is probably wearing on him. If you check the temperature in the locker room and you don't have everybody with you, that makes you question your decision making, particularly when you're dealing with adults. These are not children. These are grown men, millionaires. I got to think that everybody within that team and within that brain trust is not happy with how the Kuminga thing played out. They're not going to say anything, but it doesn't take a genius to kind of check the temperature. We don't know what the conversations are like between Kerr and the owner. The owner is very respectful of what Steve Kerr and the staff has been able to do, but how many times are you going to get lottery picks when you are that good and that high up as an organization? Not likely. So this has been a mess, and we have a little over a week to find out who is going to come to the Bay for Jonathan Kuminga. They're not going to send him in a place where I think he would really shine. I can't see that happening. I've already said it before, and I say it again. If Jonathan Kuminga went to Sacramento, he averaged 20 points a game. If Jonathan Kuminga went to the Chicago Bulls, he'd be a star. He would be a star in Chicago. I don't think the Warriors want that to happen. Oakland showed up for the Warriors. No question. The East Bay, Oakland and East Bay, one of the best basketball fan bases in the entire NBA. No question about that. What about the AD rumors to the Warriors? I wouldn't do that. Would you? I would do it. Why would I do it? Because it's not my money. That's why I would do it. Because AD doesn't have. AD has, I think, next year and a player option. So it's probably somewhere between 80 and 100 million. But when you're the owner of a team that is worth 9 or 10 billion, that's not as much as we think. If the Dallas Mavericks wanted to trade for Jonathan Kuminga and parts for AD, I would do it. I would do it. Because we can't even really quantify what a championship is worth to the Golden State Warriors. It's worth a whole lot. We know that. So, yeah, I would do it. In spite of AD's injury history and likelihood to encounter more injuries, I probably would still do it because, for 40 or 50 games a year, he's going to give you 25 to 27, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. That's not walking through the door. I agree with you, Vicky. Vicky says Milton is starting to play better. Yeah, you know what's interesting, Vicky, about that too? He is starting to play better, but it's only because he's starting to make better decisions and he's shooting more. That injury that he had last year has taken some of his athleticism away. And it takes sometimes a year plus to get it back. He's still a young guy. He was about 27, 28, but he's starting to play better. He is. And I like that. He helps the Warriors be a better team. AD is another player that gets hurt a lot. He does. He does. Players don't like to be viewed as injury prone, but some players are injury prone. Some players are injury prone. Anthony Davis is injury prone. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy. No, it doesn't mean that. But he gets hurt a lot. I don't understand it. Aaron says, who wins the next Bay Area championship? Valkyries. The Valkyries win the next championship. That's what I think. Come on, Red. That's not a sport. I can't wait for the WNBA season to start. If they have a season, they're going to be good. Now that you said that about AD, I agree with you, friend. Thank you. Sometimes I get it right. All right. Not that you don't know, but I'm going to tell you when the games are going to be played in the playoffs next week. All right. Green Bay in the NFC, Green Bay plays at Chicago on Saturday, January 10th on Prime Video. That kind of sucks. Everybody doesn't have Prime. I have it. But if you don't have Prime, you can't watch a playoff game? What kind of crap is that? The 49ers play Philly at 4:30 on Fox. So we can all watch that. The Los Angeles Rams are at the Carolina Panthers on Saturday at 1:30 West Coast time on Fox as well. And Seattle has a bye. Let me tell you something. That Carolina Panthers LA Rams game, if I was a Rams fan, I would be really scared. Weird and crazy things happen in Charlotte. That's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not. And it would not surprise me if that wasn't the one upset that we see in the first round. You guys know I'm a Bryce Young guy. I ride with Bryce. In the AFC, the LA Chargers take on the New England Patriots on Sunday on NBC at 5 p.m. West Coast time, 8 o'clock East Coast time. I'm picking the Chargers. I am. New England, I think it's a nice story. I don't quite believe in them. Not this year. I just don't. I don't. The Buffalo Bills play Jacksonville on Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS. Buffalo, if you can't beat an upstart Jacksonville team, even though you're playing on the road, then you're a farce. I think Buffalo's going to beat them. The Houston Texans play the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football on a week from tomorrow on ESPN. I got to go with Pittsburgh. I have to go with Pittsburgh simply because they have the experience, they have the home field advantage, and I'm a Mike Tomlin believer. So I'm going to ride with them. before I give you my movie review, let's kind of go back and clean some of this stuff up. I got folks who have some comments. Aaron says, I know you're into film. What did you think about One Battle After Another? Chef Kiss. Patrick Thomas Anderson is literally one of the best filmmakers in the world. I love how he writes and how he directs. If One Battle After Another won Best Picture, I wouldn't be upset at all. I think One Battle After Another or Sinners should be up for Best Picture. The story, One Battle After Another, it's just an incredible story. And the one thing that I love about it, and I said it again, I'll tell you again, I've written a screenplay, all right? I love writing. I've written a screenplay. At this point, I even put my title out there. My title is called Mr. Samuels Meets the Phoenix. Maybe I'll actually tell you what it's about at some point. But Mr. Samuels Meets the Phoenix is the title of a screenplay that I wrote. The one thing I love about One Battle After Another, beyond the tremendous story, is you have, just this collective of incredible actors that were willing to play their role like it was a starring role. I don't care if it was 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was. Everybody was a star in their role. That's the best thing I can say about that film. The story takes you to a lot of different places, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. But the utter talent on screen, orchestrated by this brilliant director, I was really captivated by it. Fantastic. I don't know if I've ever seen an ensemble cast like that of people that I know. You might look at, say, like Casino or The Godfather, and their other movies, but a lot of those performances were of people who we don't already know, and we were getting to know for the first time. One Battle After Another features literally Hall of Fame type talent that was willing to take a large role, take a small role, whatever that role was. They said to themselves, I'm going to take this role and I'm going to make it special every time that I'm on screen. And then you had a young lady who is literally just starting her career, Chase Infinity, who was brilliant, who played the daughter of Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, who played the daughter of Leonardo DiCaprio's character. What do you think, Aaron? I loved it. The Great Vicky says the Warriors can still win a championship this year. It depends on who they get in the trade. I agree. Key says, why or what is the reason Kirk can't give minutes to Kuminga for 5 years? Now, do you think this has something to do with outside of basketball, maybe politics? Absolutely. Politics affect everything in life. Everything. I remember I was listening to Gary Radnich. For those of you who've been around the Bay Area long enough, you guys know who Gary Radnich is. He's retired, but I don't think there's ever been a better sports personality in the Bay Area than Gary Radnich. And Gary Radnich was really honest. I loved his honesty, and he could be honest because, he was one of the, he's one of the chosen ones. Came from the Bay Area, was a really good athlete, funny, charismatic, witty. So he could give you all those jewels. And I remember him making a statement to that effect, that everything has a political dynamic to it. Everything. he actually interviewed me once. There was a cat who had become a big fan supporter of my show. I do a Sunday night show on KHTK, and he told Gary about me. And yeah, Gary said, "Yo, I want to interview him." So Gary interviewed me on KNBR because he was one of my media. I don't know about idols, but he's one of the people in the media that I respected and I admired. It was really a pleasure. It really was. SGA, can I join the show the next time? Send me an email. I think I'm at the point where in 2026, then, we can have a discussion. So send me an email. Vicky says, I hope the Rams lose. They might, Vicky. They might lose. I think Kerr is good with rookies that have basketball IQ. I would agree with that. But, and I think you're right. But let me say this about Kerr. I like Kerr. I'm a big Kerr supporter. I'm always talking about how great a coach I think he is. I love his basketball mind, but I also love his toughness. This guy he's dealt with adversity in his life in ways that other people have not. With that said, he has some privilege. He's had some privilege. And because he's had some privilege, he's able to kind of have that stance. I like players who have high basketball IQ. Guess what? Some players don't have high basketball IQs. You still got to coach them. Steve Kerr was able to essentially get out of a commitment to coach the Knicks to coach the Warriors. It wasn't like he built the Warriors. He didn't build the Warriors. The Warriors had gone to the playoffs for 2 straight years. What he did was he came in and he took his brilliance and took the team to levels that I don't think that we could even conceive at that point. But he had a real strong foundation to work with. And he had an owner who was on the cusp of letting the world know that he wasn't playing around. He was about winning. So all those layers, all those foundational points that you needed to be successful, Steve Kerr had it. And he had Bob Myers, who had been an agent for years, who knows everybody. So, yeah, you're right. He likes to coach players who have high basketball IQs. But you got to teach these guys. You got to convince these guys that, you know what, this is the way that you're going to be successful. That's hard. Some coaches are good at it. Some coaches are not. But there's a lot of different ways to win. And, player development up to this point has not been an area where the Warriors have really excelled. They've excelled by identifying players who are already established for the most part and who are good fits. Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala was an all-star when he came to the Warriors. Sean Livingston was a bona fide player when he came to the Warriors. Andrew Bogut was the #1 overall pick when he came to the Warriors. So, they had a lot to work with. Steve Kerr has been in some real luxurious situations, and he's done extremely well. But you don't always, as a coach, you don't always get a chance to decide who you want to coach. You just got to coach your players. And you got to convince them that, you know what, this is beneficial to you and us. Takes a lot of patience. You look at a guy like Bickerstaff in Detroit. Will Detroit win a championship? I don't know. But I tell you what, JB Bickerstaff is a guy who has shown that he can galvanize players. He goes to Cleveland, turns that program around, makes them matter, and they fire him inexplicably. Gets hired by Detroit, changes the mentality of Detroit, and now they're one of the best teams in the league. Why? Because his players really buy into what he says. It's not by mistake. That's coaching. You know, that's that Mike Tomlin, Greg Popovich type of persona that some coaches have. You look in Los Angeles now, JJ Redick is kind of struggling with that a little bit. We suck. We don't play. Wait a minute, dude. Wait a minute. So there's some privilege in coaching. You know, there is some privilege. There's some that have a lot, and some coaches have zero privilege. None. Zero. Did you see lightning and thunder? No. Wow. Maybe I will. Did you ever see the movie Wag the Dog? I did not see it. I know the movie. I think I probably even know the premise as well. Vicky says, I love Kerr too. No one is a perfect coach. I totally agree with you. All right, let me tell you about the two movies that I saw this week. Yes, I saw two. Love going to the movies. All right. The first movie that I saw, which I think is somewhat similar but not exactly the same. There was a movie called Parasite, maybe 5-6 years ago. It was a Korean film that won Best Picture. This is a foreign film. It's called No Other Choice. And it's written and directed by a gentleman. His name is Park Chan-wook. And he is of Korean descent. And essentially, the movie is about the level of desperation that people will go to when this beautiful world that they have created goes awry. And he got to a point, the leading character gets to a point where he literally is willing to do anything to rebuild this happy home that he had created. And it felt real, it felt extreme, but there's a level of desperation that I think that we can experience when our lives are turned upside down. That is one of the resounding themes of this movie. It's called No Other Choice. Check it out. If you like foreign films, has subtitles. The next movie that I saw is getting a lot of love and they are promoting it. It's called Is This Thing On? This is a movie written, produced, and directed by Bradley Cooper. And Bradley Cooper, pretty talented dude. I mean, I like the fact that Bradley Cooper is doing everything he can do to detach himself from this heartthrob, model-esque actor that people go gaga over. He doesn't want to be that guy. And I respect that. He's a writer, he's a director. And he wrote a movie entitled, Is This Thing On? And it stars Will Arnett and Laura Dern. I love Laura Dern as an actress. I think she's awesome. Because she's so versatile. She'll do anything. The essence of this movie, it uses stand-up comedy kind of as a centerpiece to drive you into the movie, right? It's kind of like Marty Supreme using ping pong as a centerpiece to discover all of these things on the periphery. And this movie is this thing on. It uses stand-up comedy as a foundation for all of these other sub-stories to happen. And I really enjoyed it. It's basically about a married couple who've been together for a long time, and things have gotten really stale within the marriage. Now, getting stale within the marriage does not mean that they don't love each other, because they do love each other. And at some point, both people have to decide, would they rather rekindle a spark in their lives and not have access to people who they love? Or are they willing to be together and accept that we got some challenges that we need to work through in this marriage? That's the big decision. You know, one of the things that draws them together and adds a really nice touch to this movie is the fact that they're really highlighted in the movie. I think it was intentional by Bradley Cooper. They highlighted what I think good parenting looks like. They have two incredible kids that they really care about and they are so committed to. And I really identified with that. So hopefully my little brief synopsis of this movie will encourage you to go check it out. I really enjoyed it. Is This Thing On? That's what it's called. SGA, you can hit me up on X, man. Just send me a message on X. That's all you have to do. Oh, Vicky, I feel kind of like an idiot right now. Lightning and Thunder is the movie about the couple that sing the Neil Diamond songs. I thought it was called Sing Along or something. It's not. Is it called Lightning and Thunder? That was called? No, I haven't seen that yet. I want to see it. I might have to go see it by myself because I want to see that movie. I like Kate Hudson. She's another actress who kind of goes for it. I like that about her. So I do want to see that movie. Have you seen it? And if so, should I see it? Mendez says Brandon Ayuk money is going to come in clutch during the offseason. Hopefully, unless it's like not considered to be dead money. I don't know how that whole stuff works, but you would think that not having to pay Brandon Ayuk a crazy salary will create some opportunities for them to sign some other players. So I agree with you with regard to the 49ers. It should help them. All right. We have been going for an hour and a half. It felt like 30 minutes to me. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I really enjoyed this show. This has been an incredible sports weekend. I think we can turn the faucets off now. We've had more rain than I can't remember us having this much rain. I can't remember Northern California raining as much as it has over the past week or so. So hopefully our reservoirs and our snowpacks in the mountains are taken care of and we can get back to some pleasant weather as we get closer to the Super Bowl and we come outside and start enjoying our lives. So it's been good to have the rain, but I would love to see things dry up a little bit and things get back to normal. With that said, I want to thank you for joining me in the program. Hopefully you have hit the like button. Hopefully you have subscribed to the channel. As Vicky said, we are on a quest to get to 1,000. It's been a slow ride, which is okay. I don't like to go that fast. but I want to keep moving. So help a brother out. All right. This is the In the Dungeon Show. My name is Frank Red. If you're listening for the first time, it is a pleasure and an honor to engage with you in conversation about sports and about things that matter in our lives. All right. I'm going to do my thing and get out of here. Success and getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. Everybody have a great week, and I'll talk to you down the road. Hit me up at Big Frank Red on X and subscribe to the channel In the Dungeon Show. Thank you and good night, everybody.